Hi guys, today I'm doing is this a tag video? I don't think so, but I think Alfie started this. I might not be right, but I'm pretty sure he did. He's the first person I saw do it, but I think it's a really good idea. Today I'm doing a what school doesn't teach you or what school should teach you. As you guys know, as some of you guys know, I graduated college with a bachelor's degree in October, and I went through college, I went through high school, obviously did all that stuff, and I was one of those people who didn't feel like proud necessarily, I guess, that was done. I was like relieved more, and I never really thought school was the best way to educate someone. I always think that life experience is way more useful than school, and you know, you're paying to do work, and I feel like 80, 90, 95% actually of like stuff I learned in school wasn't useful to life outside of school. I've always felt like some of the things they teach you are just so useless when they could be teaching you things that you have to know that so many people don't know. Like, it just blows my mind. So I thought I would talk to you about the things that really bothered me about school. It's mostly things I wish that I learned when I was like in high school that would have better prepared me for college or further on in my life. So let's get started. Okay, number one, which is I think something that is very, very important, although this video is going up after the time, but taxes. Like, oh my god, like I honestly, even just to get a job and like sign the tax form that you have to sign, like I couldn't read half of those words. It's insane. Like, just the one tax form is like, I'm sorry, this makes no sense. It's so confusing, and like, yeah, there's commercials, and yeah, there's like TurboTax, but like you could still do stuff wrong, and it's so scary to know that like if you do something wrong you can be in so much trouble just because you're unaware. Like, it's so crazy. I feel like they need to dumb this down for people who don't get it, and not even dumb it down, but like, even like I said, some of the smartest people don't understand it. It's so stressful. Everyone gets so stressed out, and it makes no sense to me. So why don't they teach you that like when you're 18 in high school? Like, don't understand that there should be a class everyone has to take where they learn how to do it. Oh my god, why don't they do that? Another thing I feel like school should definitely teach you is just like finances in general, and like I find it so odd that it doesn't. Like, maybe it's something with the government and they don't want everyone to know how to like actually be smart with their money, so that there's always like upper class and lower class. Like, I don't know, because I just feel like when I was in high school I was learning about like geometry and like random stuff that literally I'm never gonna use, like, ever. It's like, why don't you learn how to do that when you become an adult? Like, that's something that the world should teach you. Like, the government should be like requiring everyone to know these things. Like, who gives a hell who was the president back in like 1800? Like, I think what we need to know is how to do our taxes, how to not like go into debt and be bankrupt. I guess as a teenager, like even now with the comments I get on my videos, people are like, oh my god, like save money and live at home, like you should be able to buy a new camera, blah blah blah. Like, no, that's not the way life works. I get so frustrated when people leave comments like that on my videos, especially when they're like older people. Like, if they're in high school I almost understand, because when I was in high school I didn't understand it either, because they don't teach you that. Like, they make it seem so easy to be an adult. Like, when I was in high school I thought, oh my god, when I'm an adult it's gonna be so easy. Like, I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna make money, and I'm gonna have money. And that's not how it works. Like, you wonder when you're younger like why your parents get so stressed out about money and stuff like that, and because it really is like a live or die situation. I wish that when I was 18 they taught me how to like manage paying back student loans and like paying for your life, like to survive. Like, they don't teach you that, and it's so frustrating because then you hit your 20s and that's this whole like quarter life crisis thing. Like, whoa, all this adjustment is happening so fast and I'm not prepared for it, and it's because they don't prepare you, and it's insane, and it's really, really, really frustrating. Next up, relationships. Oh my god, why they don't teach this blows my mind. That's like a class they should teach you, like how to be stable in a relationship. Like, I know so many people who like lose their mind over people that they're dating or people that they like. I've been in bad relationships, like horrible relationships, and I just feel like I've never done something that outrageous. Like, I just never, my mind would just never go there. Maybe it's just because I'm sane. Like, I feel like that's something that they should teach you, like open communication. Like, I feel like so many people don't get that. I wish that school would just teach you that. Like, why not? Like, why not have like in health class like how to have a successful relationship? Something else I read online recently, which I found very interesting, and tell me, like, I guess you can like tell me what your thoughts on it are, but I recently read an article, or it was a tweet, I don't even know what it was, but it said something like, so when you're in school you get taught how to deal with peer pressure. So you get taught to be like, say no to peer pressure, say no to drugs. We get taught that for bullying, like if you see it, report it, and we get taught that if you're a victim of bullying to report it. And then we get taught for sexual assault, we say if you're a victim come forward, and how to deal with it. If you're a victim, how to deal with it, if you're a friend of a victim. But we don't get taught in school, I guess this is like the law, but still they don't emphasize is to not be the person who does the sexual assault, to not be a bully, and to not peer pressure people. Like, is it just me, or is that completely true? Like, I read this and I thought, oh my god, that is right. Like, am I missing something? Am I forgetting half of my high school lessons or something? Because I feel like that is 100% true. We always get taught about the victim and how to help with the victim, and that's great, and like, we should. I'm not saying we shouldn't learn how to help victims and things like that, but I think that we should also put a bigger emphasis on not doing the problem in the first place. Like, what we're doing is like a fix to the problem and how to help once the problem has happened, but I feel like what we're not focusing on is to prevent the problem from happening. Like, am I right? Like, please tell me if I'm going crazy here, but did you ever remember in high school in health class when the DARE people came in, they said it about like peer pressure, like, you kids are gonna tell you, kids are gonna say it's cool, like, so why didn't they say, don't be the bully, don't be the person who peer pressures people, don't beat up on a kid, don't make someone feel bad about themselves? Why don't you ever say, like, don't be a bully, look what happens to these kids who get bullied? Like, like, maybe they think that boys are just bullies and that's like them from the core and they're born that way. Like, I don't think so. Like, why don't we prevent them from becoming the bully or the aggressor or anything like that, rather than kind of saying, okay, well, once it happens, because it's bound to happen, we're gonna deal with it, right? I feel like they still told you, like, even though we knew it wasn't true, when I was in high school, they were like, when you go to college, you're guaranteed a job. But that is 100% not true. At least when I was growing up, they were so like, everyone can do it. We're gonna give everyone an award for when they do absolutely nothing, and they made everyone feel like they could do anything in the world. And I know it's depressing, like the way I'm saying it. I guess that's like they didn't tell kids, so everything isn't always gonna work out, you know, and I wish that they did. And I feel like that's why so many 20-somethings now are living at home and struggling to become successful, because we were told our whole lives we can do anything we want and we can make our dream job appear, and like, that's just not really how it works, and it takes a lot of hard work. I think a lot of our generation is struggling to deal with the hard work it takes to be successful because we weren't prepared for that. We got rewarded for doing nothing, and now we're prepared to be rewarded for doing nothing, and that's just not the way it works. And I'm not accusing other people of that, but like, I'm saying it myself. Like, it's hard work to be a successful adult, and it's not easy at all, and I wasn't prepared for what was to come. If you guys want to hear more about my whole rant about this kind of thing, like the quarter life crisis, which is pretty much what I'm complaining about right now, then you can check out my blog post. I recently did a quarter life crisis of a 90s kid blog post, and I know most of the people who watch me were born around the same time I was, or between 18 and 25. If you're interested in that, then definitely check it out. I'll link it below. A lot of people seem to be really enjoying it and feel really related to. One thing I definitely wish that school taught you was how to treat people. And I know that sounds bad, and I feel like, yes, elementary school and like preschool, I feel like teach you like be nice to everybody and like have manners. There's so many cruel people in the world, and I wish that someone would have taught them. And I know that's like parents' jobs and stuff, and like, we can't always blame the people who are supposed to teach people, because some people are just beyond help. But there's so many people that treat people so horribly, and it's one thing to have a bad day and stuff, but I've seen people who just treat everyone so horribly. Anyone who's below them, anyone who's a waiter, who works in the service industry, like, people just treat them horribly, and I don't get it. And like, I've never worked in food, like being a waitress or anything like that, but I can only imagine how hard it would be. I only never worked it because I didn't think I could handle it, and I know I couldn't hack such hard work that it is, and such manual work. Like, anyone who's worked in the service industry will never be cruel to someone who works in the service industry. So anyone who treats someone who has that job with disrespect drives me crazy. So I think one class in high school should be, for one semester, you have to be a waitress or a waiter. Like, you have to work in the service industry for like 5 months. I think that that should be something that happens in high school, so everyone can learn what it's like. Recycling. I feel like even in my generation, like, we knew growing up that our ecosystem was falling apart, and we knew that there was a problem, and yet I see so many people still not recycling. And like, I know in high schools they had like the little blue bin in the classroom to throw stuff out, but you would see like bottles in one thing, and like, no one would actually separate it. Like, people are that lazy that you can't just put something in the right container, like they're right next to each other. Like, does high school teach that better now? Please tell me it does, because I haven't been in high school in years. Like, please tell me that it's better now. Something else is how to drive, and I know that in high school you get like your permit, and you get your like 6 hours with a guy in, and like, the thing is, when you're in that car with the guy for your 6 hours when you're first learning, you're gonna be more cautious. And when you go to get your license test, oh my god, easiest test in the world. And the questions on the written tests are like so stupid. They have nothing to do with driving every single day. They are like, what does the brown sign that's shaped like a triangle mean? A national park? Like, what the heck? Like, I will never need to know that ever. Like, what I need to know know is when can you cut people off, when can't you cut people off, when can you go around people, like how to switch lanes. Like those are kinds of things that people do every day that's like so stupid. Like the driving test needs to be more like stupid proof. Another thing is respect, just in general. Like I feel like school doesn't teach you how to respect people, whether it's your parents, teachers. Like I've seen people treat teachers so horribly, and like other like your parents. Like how many teenagers have you seen treat their parents with such disrespect? And like I know I'm guilty of not always being so grateful to my parents for everything they've done for me. And yes, you live with these people every day and like think hot, like tensions get high and stuff like that, but like people are so disrespectful. Like think about all the things your parents have done for you. Like, can you imagine raising a human being? Like that's insane. Yeah, that was my last thing. This video is so long, oh my god. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you agreed with any of my insights, then please let me know in a comment below. Let me know your opinions on stuff like this and what you think that they should be teaching kids in high school now. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, please. I really appreciate it. And check out my last video if you haven't seen it. It'll be linked at the end. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.